Welcome to Mythical Phylogeny Adventures. I'm your guide, Jason. There are many schools of magic, which people have claimed to be evil. Necromancy is a popular one. Yet, I don't think that is the worst. In fact, I believe the school of charms and enchantments very well may be the most evil and cruel. I want to start with a common trope in fantasy. It even shows up in Harry Potter, and it is rather disturbing there. And worst of all, we see sweet motherly Mrs. Weasley joking about it with Hermione and Ginny. We even see it sold by the Weasley twins in their joke shop later on in the series. And then it comes up as a poison used on Ron accidentally later in the same book. What is it? The love potion. Oh, it sounds sweet and romantic. And that is how Mrs. Weasley treats it. She is literally joking about it. So what's the problem? A love potion just makes someone fall in love with you. Well, no, it is just a lust potion. And we literally see this in the story of Merope Gaunt, the squib witch who feeds the wealthy Tom Riddle a love potion. Yet he already had a woman he was involved with. Merope assaults Tom Riddle. She robbed him of his own free will and took advantage of him. What she did should flat out land her in prison in our world. Yet the Imperious Curse, which is pure mind control, will give you a one-way ticket to Azkaban. That is just a slightly more powerful variant, is it not? Why isn't love potions on the same level? And this is what I want to talk about. The School of Enchantments comes from Dungeons & Dragons, and is often said to include spells like Charm to make people see you positively. Also Hypnotic Gaze and Confusion to remove their thought processes. And spells like Command to make people do one act, like flee or drop what they are holding. Generally, the School of Enchantment focuses on spells which alter the minds of people, tricking them to full-on mind control. What about a spell that makes you so happy and giddy that you just start dancing irresistibly, and you can't fight back while dancing? Well, maybe a bard or blade dancer could pull it off? And this brings up the point. The enchantment spells are truly terrifying spells. They are brainwashing and mind control. They rob a person to do what they want. This is flat out enslavement. Let's imagine it. You are serving a king. He sends you out to uncover a plot against him. But during the midst of it all, an assailant spots you and binds you under a charm spell. Together, you return to the king, and the assailant slays the king and gives you the bloodied sword before walking away. Or worse yet, you literally slay the king in view of the nobles. I actually did use this in one of my stories. Or let's really look at a love potion. Let's say that there is this gorgeous woman, way out of your league, and you sneak up and put a few drops of a love potion in her drink, and she throws herself at you. You take her home and give her the potion straight. For years, she serves you like a slave, oblivious to it all. This is literally what Merope Gaunt did in Harry Potter. It is disgusting to be sure. Yeah, love potions aren't cute, humorous, or romantic. They are sick. By now, I hope you understand why I feel that this school of magic is so vile. In fact, there are multiple demons who use it. Probably the most well known is the succubus, a demon which seduces her victims and compels them to serve her, at least until their death. These spells don't need to be that powerful. Just influencing their opinion of you enough to get an unwarranted friends and family discount at a shop could be considered theft. So, how should a fantasy world handle such situations? This will be a major issue in the world. There will need to be some way to detect a person being charmed, some sort of magical residue or influence found. After any crime, it should be the very first thing that a guard or detective needs to do. Maybe this could be done with mind-reading spells. Though I do need to ask, would a spell to alter memories fall into this category? Potentially. I would put it as the same caliber of spell. Well, that is another cruel spell to be sure. You can literally change what they experienced. Similar to changing how they think. Yeah, another evil spell. And that means we have another thing that we need to look at. Altering minds and altered memories. And this will be an issue in a fight. Think about the succubus. You and a group of soldiers rush at her as she unleashes her spell. Suddenly, your comrade spins and turns on you. What to do when attacked by charmed foes? Will you even know? There is a good chance that you may slay a few innocents in a fight. But these are innocent people. They don't deserve to die. Yet this is self-defense, so there will be an excuse. And it's not like you'll have time to cast a spell to find out if they are charmed, right? Well, maybe a dispel magic spell would work? Yeah, utter chaos. And we'll also need to do that before weddings to be sure that they aren't dealing with love potions and spells. Yeah, we got a whole host of issues to handle. Honestly, it'll add a whole lot of bureaucracy. And could you imagine the scandals that would unfold after someone is exposed being under a love potion? So we need a proactive way to stop these spells. Amulets preventing them will likely be very popular to be sure. Almost a necessity. That may be a very valuable business venture to look into. Better yet, if you could cast it over a building for protection of those inside. There would definitely need to be work to handle these issues. So yes, I think we can agree that laws will need to change with this school of magic. And it is likely it will be heavily regulated with high risk of punishment for use. Yet, there are a few spells which might be allowed. The first one is Calm Emotions, a form of mind control, which is meant to prevent outbursts of fear, anger, sorrow, despair, and more. This could be useful. You get a couple of people arguing and they draw weapons. Now, you can stop the fight before they take a swing. This sounds like a Calm Emotion spell should be able to stop a barbarian from raging. What do you think? A or nay on this idea? Should it work? Maybe if upcasted? And sleep spells could help with insomnia to be sure. So, should these variants of enchantment spells be allowed? I mean, they could easily be used against innocent bystanders. If you are robbing a place, what happens if everyone falls asleep? Well, while they are laying on the ground and enjoying their dreams, you are free to walk around and take whatever you want. So, it might be down to how and when the spell is applied. Is there an active threat or permission to use the spell? So more bureaucracy. Lovely. Yet, there is one more use that I want to talk about. And this isn't an ability that spellcasters would usually have. But tanks basically have to have it. That is the taunt spell. An ability to draw a foe's attention to you. One that riles them up at you. Let's think about this for a minute. What is a taunt? Seriously, have you ever thought about it? Is it just you insulting a person? What good would that do against an animal which doesn't understand your language? What about against a foe who has such discipline that they won't fall to someone throwing out childish insults? Some vicious mockery. So, I believe that the taunt abilities will actually be some form of enchantment magic. Basically, a reverse charm spell. Rather than making them friendly, it makes them hostile. Yeah, this does make much more sense. You'll need the tank to run around taunting everyone to attack them. A perfect use. It is all good. Though I do need to ask, could this trick be used to get a barbarian to go into rage? Well, maybe. But they may just then attack the tank, which isn't a good idea. So this could possibly be a positive application? Well, except when it is used on you. Oh, you are just there minding your own business when suddenly someone casts a taunt on you and you run up and start attacking. If the spell is cast silently, there won't be any bystanders who see what is happening. Then everyone will say that you just went and attacked them, and the masses will defend the caster, and you then get slammed for attacking, even though you were charmed and not under your own control. Very evil. Okay, but what if you are an adventurer going after some bandits? Why not just spam charm person and walk through, or get one to escort you through? That could likely be much easier, isn't it? We can do the whole trick about assassinating their leader, or just make them all start attacking each other. A much better way to take out a bunch of thieves and bandits. Isn't that a better option? Oh, definitely. Why get your hands dirty? And I do think that there is another use for these spells. What is probably the greatest threat to an adventuring party? Well, besides literally everything that is trying to kill you, which is a lot. But what about the mental state of your party? Exhaustion will set in as you are running away for your life. Despair will sap your resolve, and fear will leave you quaking in your boots. These kind of spells can bolster your resolve. Wait, is this what buff spells should fall under? Some of them definitely. At least those which are more of a mental buff than an actual buff. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out a full video on how buffs work. Yeah, there are a few variations of charm spells which can be applied for good, but are just as likely to be abused. So again, it'll come down to when and where you use the spell. So what do you think? Should enchantment and charm spells be considered evil spells? Oh, many of them are a definite yes. And there is a heavy chance they will be exploited and abused to no end. Thank you for watching, adventurers. Please return next time. Until then, I'll see you on the roads.